Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Bible, one book, one verse at a time. Today we're looking at the book of Philippians. And if you've ever wondered about what it means to live in a community where things go well, then maybe this is the book for you. Now, the book of Philippians is a book that is full of joy. Paul is writing this letter back to the church in Philippi, a church that he had started, a church that was full of people that he loved and that continued to support him in all kinds of different ways. And he's writing it back to them after they have sent a package or a care package basically to him as he's stuck in prison, probably in Rome. And he's full of joy for this church because he sees in this act of love and of giving, he sees their joy overflowing for him, and then he sees how it brings him joy, and he's just full of gratefulness of what God is doing in this particular community. And so Paul says time and time and time again in this book to rejoice, to have joy, that the joy of the Lord is our strength. And then that shows up in communities in ways that we serve and love and care for one another. It says at the beginning of Philippians chapter 2 that if you have any encouragement of Christ, if there is any consolation in love, if any fellowship with the Spirit, if any affection and mercy, then fulfill my joy, he says, by thinking the same way, having the same love, sharing the same feelings, and focusing on the same one goal. Do nothing out of rivalry or conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves, or more important than yourselves. Everyone should look out not only for their own interests, but also and maybe primarily for the interests of others. Now, Paul says we do this by making our attitude and our outlook on life the same as that of Jesus. And could you imagine what our communities, our Christian communities particularly, would look like if we had this kind of attitude as we were dealing with one another? If we considered others more and better than ourselves, if we didn't think of the things that we had as things to be grasped and held on to, but were willing to sacrifice them to others, even though we deserved them or they were part of our rights or we had earned them or whatever, but if we were able to give them away on behalf of others, if we considered the best interests of all of those who are around us, and we found ways to discuss together on how to make things the best, and most of all, if we were full of joy because of what Jesus had done for us. And when you read through the book of Philippians, you get the impression that that's not only desirable, but that is achievable. That this community in Philippi actually was one that was like that, and that our Christian communities can be like that as well. And the way we do it, I think, is what brings us to our key verse here in Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there are anything that has moral excellence, and if there is any praise, dwell on, think about, or marinate on these things. If we can focus on the good, if we can contain and spend more of our time thinking about all of the good things that are there, the pure things, the healthy things, the honorable things, instead of focusing so much time on these other things, then I think we could be the kind of community that considers others more important than ourselves, that has the same attitude as Jesus, who did not consider equality with God something to be grasped and used to his own advantage, but emptied himself, made himself nothing, and became obedient to death on a cross. So may that be a source of joy for you today as you think about whatever is lovely, honorable, pure, and holy.